to brief you on your company's performance for the financial year 2023-24. I'm happy to share with you all that US FDA has issued an establishment inspection report for your company's manufacturing facility at Dahej, Gujarat, with no observations as to any significant objectionable conditions. And the inspection has been successfully closed by the US FDA, which is a good news for your company. Financial year 2023-24 presented certain unexpected challenges marked by economic uncertainties and market disruptions. The market conditions in the vitamin segments affected sales volumes. Additionally, the global economic uncertainties, inflationary pressures, and geopolitical tensions led to fluctuating raw material costs and operational difficulties. However, despite these difficulties, we remained resilient and committed to address these issues through strategic adjustments and operational improvements. By adopting a disciplined approach to spending and streamlining processes, we maintained financial stability and operational efficiency. The employees of your company showed extraordinary commitment to seamlessly deliver our products and services to our customers, for which I continue to be grateful to them. Let me update you regarding the financials of the company. In financial year 2023-24, the company recorded a total income of rupees 31,524 lakhs on a standalone basis, as against a total income of rupees 33,738 lakhs for the previous financial year 2022-23. The net loss in financial year 23-24 was 1,874 lakhs as against net loss of 5,700 lakhs in the corresponding financial year 22-23. On a consolidated basis, in financial year 23-24, the company recorded a total income of rupees 34,747 lakhs, whereas in financial year 22-23, the total income earned was rupees 35,854 lakhs. Consolidated net loss of 2,400 lakhs was recorded in financial year 23-24 as compared to net loss of 5,313 lakhs in financial year 22-23. In the vitamin D3 business, the animal nutrition market continued to experience lower feed prices over the past year as well. However, historical trends suggest that market cycles typically rebound after periods of decline. On the human nutrition front, we noticed that the demand for vitamin D3 is coming back to the pre-pandemic levels, and we anticipate the volumes would pick up once the existing inventory in the global supply chain, which was built up during the pandemic, is exhausted. During the financial year 23-24, your company successfully commercialized new products like vitamin K1, fortified rice kernel, and customized premixes, thereby expanding Fermenta's reach and influence in the nutrition segment. The strategic product portfolio diversification is intended to reduce our reliance on any single product line. I'm pleased to inform you that your board has recommended a final dividend of 25%, that is 1 rupee 25 paise per equity share of rupees 5 each, for the financial year ended 31st March 2024 for shareholders' approval. Let me brief you about the financial performance in the first quarter of financial year 2024-25, that is for the quarter ended 30th June. In the first quarter, the company on a standalone basis recorded total income of rupees 7,532.52 lakhs and a loss after tax of 485.03 lakhs. In the corresponding first quarter of financial year 23-24, the total income was rupees 7,882.95 lakhs and profit after tax was 478.91 lakhs respectively. On a consolidated basis, the company recorded total income of rupees 8,094.95 lakhs in the first quarter of financial year 2024-25 and a loss after tax of rupees 593.30 lakhs. The consolidated total income for the corresponding first quarter of financial year 2023-24 was rupees 8,445.50 lakhs and a profit of rupees 221.14 lakhs. Despite the current difficult environment, your company is well positioned to sustain growth in the long term. I'm happy to mention about the following awards. Your company won the Excellence in Pharma Supply Chain Management Award in 2023 from the Institute of Supply Chain Management. Our independent director, Mrs. Rajeshri Oja, has been awarded Women of Excellence Award 2024 by Indian Achievers Forum and Achievers World in recognition of her professional achievement and contribution towards nation building. We must congratulate her. Over the years, your company has been engaged in several CSR activities and has focused on strengthening and partnering with various sections of the society through well thought out initiatives such as support to National Association of Blind, Paraplegic Rehabilitation Center for Armed Forces Veterans, education and development in rural areas, environmental and wildlife protection, and other related activities. These CSR activities are designed and implemented with an objective of overall development and empowerment of the society and nature. Now, I wish to express my gratitude to our outgoing board members. First, Mr. Sanjay Booth, Mr. Vinayak Hazare, Dr. Gopakumar Nair, who have retired as independent directors of the company during this year. On behalf of the shareholders and the board, I wish to place on record the appreciation for their valuable contribution, support and guidance to the company. I would also like to place on record the appreciation for Mr. Srikanth Sharma, our previous company secretary and a key managerial personnel who retired from the services of the company with effect from 23rd July 2024. I thank him for his valuable contribution to the company. I also take this opportunity to extend my gratitude and appreciation to our board of directors, customers, bankers, financial institutions, regulatory authorities, and other stakeholders for their valuable support. I would also, as you know, please provide an overview of your business to your layman shareholders. Answer will be Fermenta Biotech was incorporated in 1951 by Dr. D.V.K. Raju. It is engaged in development and manufacturing of pharmaceutical, biotechnology, and environmental solutions used across various industries. So, with a rich history of 7 decades, Fermenta has evolved a key global player in manufacturing of vitamin D3 in all its formats and has a non-China dependent supply chain. So, it also manufactures a range of vitamin D3 variants having an optimal mix between human and animal feed products, which have applications across multiple sectors like pharmaceuticals, dietary and nutritional supplements, food and beverage fortification, animal feed, veterinary, and rodenticides. Company is also involved in manufacturing of APIs for muscle relaxant and anti-protulant applications. So, Fermenta delivers innovative enzymes used in manufacturing of active pharmaceutical ingredients and is involved in environmental solutions used for wastewater treatment and management. So, of course, this is also included in our investors presentation. Next question you asked is, what is the outlook for financial year 2025 in terms of top line and bottom line? Management has always refrained from giving any forward-looking projections. You know, this is a listed company. We are not supposed to make any forward-looking statements. Hence, we regret our inability to give any outlook on the top line and bottom line at this stage. What is the sustainable steady state of EBITDA per ton, EBITDA margin that we should expect going forward? We have seen over the years that the EBITDA margin can fluctuate sharply on either side based on the animal feed 500 prices. Moreover, we have been adding more products in our portfolio, which would have its own gestation period. Considering this, it will be difficult to predict any EBITDA margin in the near future. However, our endeavor is to have margin of around 17 to 20% over a long-term horizon. Yeah. The fourth question is, what were the sales volume and realization per ton of vitamin D3 during each of the past 5 years? So each of our earnings presentations, we have shared growth or degrowth in vitamin D3 volumes and prices. So additionally, our investor presentation also captured the CAGR over the years in vitamin D3 volumes and revenue. Keeping in mind the sensitivity in mind, sharing individual volumes and realization on a competition front, it will not be in the interest of the company to share this information. Why is our feed grade D3 volumes declining at a CAGR of 4% since financial year 2015? Do you intend to exit this segment? Answer is, vitamin D3 feed grade is commodity product and its prices are sharp fluctuations. Over the last few years, the vitamin D3 feed grade prices have been very low, and to minimize the financial exposure, the company has consciously restricted the volumes. Your company is well placed to capture higher volumes subject to favorable prices. Feed grade segment is an integral part of our vitamin D3 supply chain, and we don't intend to exist from this segment. Yeah. And the next question is our D3 capacity fungible between feed and human or pharma grades? It is, yes, it is fungible. What is the reason for dramatic fall in vitamin D3 prices post-COVID? We have not seen any dramatic fall in the vitamin D3 prices for human nutrition. However, since vitamin D3 for animal feed is a commodity product, its prices see significant fluctuations. Have any D3 capacities shut down recently due to losses? No, not to our knowledge. What is your domestic and global market share in D3? Who are our closest competitors? Are we the lowest cost producer? Who enjoys the highest realization? There are no official reports available to state the market share. However, we believe that pre-COVID, we enjoyed around 25% world market share by volume in vitamin D3, human nutrition, while around 5% world market share by volume in vitamin D3 animal nutrition. We believe that our cost and prices are competitive. However, Chinese companies are our major competitors. What are the expected revenue and margins from premix and fortified rice kernel during financial year 2025? Premix and FRK both are new products and in a nascent stage. As your company makes inroads in this segment, we provide the revenue information in the periodic investor presentations. Any impact of new government in Andhra Pradesh on our FRK supplies and receivables? We do not anticipate any impact. Next is, except for D3, are our other products like APIs and enzymes, fish oil, cholesterol, environmental solution, etc., profitable? What is the maximum revenue potential in each of these products based on our current installed capacity? Yes, all the products mentioned have positive gross margins. Why are you unable to scale up our non-D3 business like enzymes? Our core products in enzymes have been penicillin G, which are mainly used in the manufacturing of antibiotics. However, most of the manufacturing of antibiotics has shifted to China, and hence volume growth is challenging. Your company is looking at new enzymes which can be used in other industries and will keep our members posted on development on this front. When will our German and US subsidiaries break even? Both these subsidiaries profitability are largely linked to vitamin D3 animal feed prices and volumes. We expect them to be profitable over the next few years. And next question is, who wants balance 48% stake in Permenta USA LLC? Rain Capital, the founder of AGD Nutrition, now Permenta USA LLC wants balance 48%. What is the tentative market value of our real estate holdings as per the circle rate? What is the schedule for monetizing the same? 12 acres remaining freehold land at Takwe, Pune, 10,000 square feet leased area at Worli, Mumbai, unsold portion of Thane 1 property and other properties are in the we have to monetize. The circle rates are available in public domain. As you are aware, we have monetized significant portion of our real estate portfolio, and your company will provide information on any updates. When will you issue residential plots aggregating to 1,20,000 square feet from Max Tech Property Developers LLP? What is the market value of the same? As per the supplementary agreement signed with Max Tech, the developer needs to give possession with OC, occupation certificate, for 1,20,000 square feet residential plot to your company by 2029. And hence, you would appreciate that it will be difficult to predict the market value at this stage. How come we are paying 17 crore interest on net debt of 19 crores? The company has reduced its debts. This is a good news for all of you. We have, by around 85 crores in the last financial year, so we reduced the debt. Also, the debt which is shown as on 31st March 2024, while the repayment happened over this one. So actually the debts have reduced. What is the further write-up on slow-moving inventory and doubtful receivables or advances that we need to make during financial year 2025? We don't expect further provisioning of slow-moving inventory and doubtful receivables. What is our CapEx plan for next 3 years? What revenue can we generate if we operate our plants in full utilization? Your company does not intend to have any major project-related CapEx program at plants in 2025, except for routine CapEx and construction of car parking at our Thane 1 premises. This is for the existing ITES building. The CapEx plan for future years would be decided close to the end of the financial year based on the business requirements and the plans. Full capacity utilization and the revenue thereof, specifically relating to D3, will depend on feed prices. What is the replacement cost of our current this one? So that's already explained. So what are the key strengths and USP of your company? One of the top three manufacturer of, we are one of the top three manufacturer of vitamin D3 globally. Only manufacturer of vitamin D3 in India. Both manufacturing facilities certified by global regulatory bodies. Around 350 customers spread across 5 continents and 60 countries. Backward integrated plants. Forward integrating and diversifying to offer more nutraceutical products. When you list our stock on NSE, your company will look into a matter and get back to you at an appropriate time. Yeah. Yeah, remaining questions. I request our MD, Mr. Prashant, to answer.
Next question is, The next question is.
Hello. The next question is, what is the current price of vitamin D3 feed grade in international market? The recent report from Feedinfo indicates that prices are around low of euros 18 and high of euros 21. As you are aware, quarterly earnings as well as the investor presentation contains vitamin D3 feed grade 500 minimum and maximum prices. The next question is, what is the maximum capacity of vitamin D3 feed grade of our company? The capacitors of vitamin D3 up to a particular stage are fungible between human and animal nutrition. Depending upon the market dynamics, maintaining our focus on human nutrition, customer require
Specifies publicly.
requirements, etc. What are the initiatives?
Market share. With launch of some.
With launch of subsidiaries in United States and Germany, ABL has broad-based its global distribution reach, especially across America and Europe. The company has also expanded its offering by commercializing vitamin K1, FRK, and customized premixes as a part of diversification strategy. What are the reasons behind reporting a loss even in the post-COVID-19 period? What steps are being taken to increase profits? Vitamin D3 industry has experienced excess inventory built up in supply chain post-COVID-19. This, along with geopolitical issues and inflationary trends in USA and Europe, contributed to lower sales during the period post-COVID-19. What were the strategic adjustments and operational improvements to ensure financial stability of the company? Substantial investments were made to diversify and expand our production and research facilities to commercialize several new products, especially in the nutrition segment. Example, vitamin K1, fortified rice kernel, and customized premixes. This strategic product portfolio diversification was intended to reduce our reliance on any single product line. Our company's investment beginning to yield results. Premixes K1 FRK will go through its customer approval process and would have gestation period. Results will be visible in short to medium term. What is the percentage of company's R&D expenditure compared to its revenues? Approximately rupees 16 crore, that is 7% of revenues from other than real estate business is spent towards R&D expenditure. Are there any areas of company operations where artificial intelligence or digitization can be useful to give better results? The company is constantly looking into it and would adapt to it as and when it feels something is cost beneficial. In addition, the company has integrated ERP system covering all aspects and implemented across all sites. What are the plans for the next 5 years? Last 4 to 5 years, the focus was to invest on CapEx. Focus is to strengthen our core vitamin D3 business by expanding our offerings in different formats. Focus on our products we have launched or launching, that is example K1, plant-based D3, at the R&D level to focus on improving cost and efficiencies on our API product portfolio, and for biotech developing green enzymatic solutions for various chemical industries. Yeah, so that then brings to certain other questions which are where my CFO would answer. Sumesh, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Chairman, sir. There are a couple of questions which have got missed out if I was just going through Hello. Yeah. So there are a couple of questions which have still not been answered from the list which we have got as of now for the questions. One question which was there by many people asking from the dividend policy or the words were profit sharing policy and everything. The company would continue to strive towards maintaining a very healthy balance, which is there between the shareholders' returns, the organization needs which are there for the future growth, and also the outstanding debt. So, taking all this into consideration, the dividend would be, decided by the board and approved by the shareholders. One question which was coming, which was on the loan which has come from a Eurobar. Why was a loan which was taken on a Eurobar? Since we have a lot of exports also, around about 70-80% of our business is also from an exports. So taking that into consideration, it sometimes helps, and it helps a lot of times to have things on a Eurobar. The reason being that the cost of Eurobar is normally much lower than when you take it from an Indian rupee or from an Indian currency. I think so. Most of the questions have been answered. Yeah, 20 has been answered. What was the R&D, which is there? Dividend percentage could have been higher. Again, this is the same thing which I answered just now. CapEx for the next year, Chairman Sir had already answered that as to that we do not intend to do any major CapEx. So other than the routine CapEx for the construction or routine CapEx at the plant and the construction of the car parking in Thane 1. So I think so that has already been answered by the Chairman Sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything, I think.
There was one question which was there on the R&D strength. Sorry, sir. There was one question which was on the R&D strength.
There were a few other questions which came in today, so I'll take hand over back.
Yeah, so I will request Prashant Nagre to answer those questions.
So there was a question asking for the R&D strength. So the total strength of R&D is 30. Then there was a question on how many players in this world in vitamin D3 are backward integrated. So we are among the only 2 players worldwide who are backward integrated on cholesterol. The 75th AGM celebration is definitely a momentous occasion. I think thank you so much. The shareholders are an integral part of it, and one of the things which can definitely be done is that there can be no celebration on a digital format. So I think a physical meet is what will be the most appropriate thing. We will discuss this internally, but this is something which is an occasion to celebrate. How many patents that we have? 31 patents. And are they all legally enforceable? Like you, I think we have seen this news only today. And we work with distinguished patent attorneys and law firms. And we will completely evaluate the impact that this may have on the entire industry, including us. There was a question which asked about the US FDA benefits. US FDA, we are a pharmaceutical company which in US operates within the food dietary supplements as a segment, and being audited and coming out through that audit in terms of no major observations is something which is expected out of us to continue to do business in that ecosystem. And obviously, this coming out with flying colors will help us further consolidate our presence within the food and the dietary supplement segment within USA. The war and its impact, the world is definitely become a very volatile place. The geopolitical, among all other risk, is now a real risk, and it is definitely impacting the way that we conduct our business across the world, with major impacts on the way that we source our raw materials as well as where we sell, and last but not least, the logistic. So as we continuously evaluate all this risk and steer this, the risk assessment and the risk management is done with completely the volatile situation kept in mind. So that
Yeah.
the CSR budget was one additional question, which is for 24-25, 4.36 million Indian rupees is what is the total CSR budget. So that I think mostly covers all the questions.
Yeah.
Over to Chairman, sir.
Yeah. I think one more question on ESG rating. We are not done this rating because this is a topic evolving. In future, we will evaluate this, and at an appropriate time, we'll go for it. And another question was factory visit. Yes, we have 3 factories. One is Nellore, one in Kulu Manali, another one in Dahej. All are far away from Mumbai, but at an appropriate time, we will take a call about the factory visit. So with this, I think we have answered all questions. So while we try to respond most of your questions, in case there are any specific query which we have missed inadvertently, you may write to our company secretary, Mr. Varada Vinayak, who will revert on the same separately. May I now request the shareholders who are not yet cast their votes on the resolutions to please do so. The results of the voting on all the resolutions will be declared within 2 working days after conclusion of this meeting, and it will be intimated to BSE Limited and also posted on companies and our registrar in time, LinkedIn Times websites. I now declare that the e-voting period be kept open for 15 minutes to facilitate voting by the shareholders who have not yet exercised their votes on the resolutions. I thank all the shareholders and my colleagues on the board and other participants for your attendance and participation at the 72nd AGM today, and look forward to your continued support. I now declare the meeting as concluded. Thank you all. Yeah, voting. 15 minutes it will be open.
Chairman, sir. Thank you all the panel members for joining the meeting. The meeting is now concluded and voting lines is open for next 15 minutes. Thank you everyone. Now you might take an exit from the WebEx panel.
Yes. Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashish, for moderating the meeting so well.
Thank you so much, sir.
We shall now exit from our WebEx module one by one.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.